What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast interview. Every single week, I interview top entrepreneurs, top real estate professionals, and straight up top badasses out there dominating their spaces. They're people choosing to not live a life of mediocrity, but instead to go out there and create big, amazing, epic lives for themselves, their families, as well as have a big impact on others. And today, you guys got another rock star guest here on the show. So our guest today, you guys, got his start in the real estate industry, actually on the mortgage side of the industry in 2003. Decided to get his real estate license and jump into the real estate industry as a realtor in 2005, and since has sold thousands of homes. Today, he owns a brokerage with 23 agents that are selling 230 plus homes each and every year. So really stoked, excited, and honored to have Dell Costa on the show. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story with everyone.
Yeah, no, man, I'm excited to have you on, dude. So, before we get into all the amazing things that you're up to today, man, I'm always intrigued in our guests' journeys that led them here in the first place. So if you run the clocks like I guess 2003, like what led you to getting into this space in the first place? And then I'm curious of what led you to make that transition from mortgage into becoming a realtor.
I got in real estate by influence of my brother, Luciano. He used to own a Remax franchise back in 2003. I got in a mortgage because of him. He told me, Dell, get into the mortgage. I'm going to get you some clients and we can make some money together. I was going out of high school. I was actually trying to decide to go to the university or jump into the real estate career. But I was seeing all of my friends getting in debt with university, and my brother, Luciano, buying nice cars, nice houses, investing, making a ton of money. So I said, Luciano, I'm going to the real estate. I'm going to choose real estate. And it was the best decision that I ever made in my life. Because instead of going to the university, I start studying the real estate. I start reading books on the real estate side. And Josh, it was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Yeah, love it, man. So that sounds like the original plan was, with your brother's real estate business growing, that you were going to be on the mortgage side. He's able to feed deals to you, and you guys could kind of have that
Right.
win-win, I guess, relationship throughout the industry. So that's what led to jumping in 2003. But then what like pivoted and changed that made you decide to go get your real estate license and jump on the other side of it?
He was growing very fast. And he needs someone that he could trust. And I had the knowledge from the mortgage, and obviously he told me, Dell, come join me, come help me with the sales. It's a lot of clients. He was overwhelmed with clients. So in 2005, I took the test and start selling properties. My first month, I sold 6 properties.
Wow.
It was an unbelievable month. And after that, I keep growing, keep learning. It's a never-ending process of learning.
Yeah, love it, dude. So, we're in an industry where most real estate agents, that first year, it can be rough, and the stat is 90% dropout within 3 years. And, getting that traction out of the gate is so tough. Like, what were some of those things that you did in that first year, those first couple years, that allowed you to have that immediate success?
Well, I love marketing, and marketing is a big plus in our industry. If you want to sell real estate, you need to be very good with marketing yourself, marketing the properties that you are selling, and investing in marketing as well. I started doing marketing in radio stations. I did a lot of marketings in newspaper, and I got a lot of clients from those marketings. and the experience that I had, Josh, with the mortgage, it's very important. As you know, prior to sell a house, you sell a mortgage,
Yep.
and that's a big plus. And that's it. I think that's what made me, successful in the first 3 years. I had a tough time in 2008, um, like everybody else, but it's been very, very stable, my career.
Yep. Love it, man. So before I get into 2008, because I actually got my real estate license in 2005 as well, and was in that boom and then followed by that crash. And I
Right.
know a lot of our listeners may not have experienced that, but being a guy that has like you, I know what that's like. And but before we get into that, man, I'm curious when it comes to the marketing. So if somebody's watching this or listening to this that is a brand new real estate agent or getting into it right away, because it sounds like
Right.
maybe you had a pretty good nest egg from the lending side to maybe be able to invest into some of that marketing initial on, or maybe not, right? But what would you recommend before they, because radio, TV, newspapers, I mean, those things can get pretty costly, right?
Right.
So I guess from a kind of a safe way of doing it, I know there's always a risk involved, but how would you recommend for somebody new to, I guess, get started with marketing and kind of playing red light, green light, if you will?
Well, I like I told you, I sold 6 properties in my first month. I took 50% of that profit and I put towards marketing. And I keep doing that, taking part of my commission and put towards marketing. Um, I like to read about marketing. I like to watch. I stay home watching YouTube commercials, from different brands, so I can get an idea and using towards the real estate part. And I work 24/7, and I really like the marketing side. And my advice for you that it's starting now in a real estate, invest 50% of your salary in marketing, because you're gonna get a return. You
Yeah.
know, you're gonna get a return. If you do the right way, you're gonna get a return.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the key thing right there that you just said, doing it the right way, because it wasn't like you were just frivolously spending that 50%. Sounds like you were a student early on of marketing, right?
Right.
I mean, when you become an expert at something, you minimize the risk, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I love that, man. And I'll have some follow-up questions on marketing, what you guys are doing today. But then from there, man, I'm curious when 2008 hit, because none of us expected or could have ever
Right.
fathomed how hard this market was what happened, the crash, right? At the level that it did. And, obviously you were able to stay in the game and make it through that, like what were some of the things that you had to do during those transitions that allowed you to survive and then start thriving even in that really tough time?
Well, 2008 was like I mentioned, it was a really bad time. I had to reinvent myself. I had to rethink the way I was doing business 100%. We didn't have buyers at the market. We have sellers. I had 100% of my business sellers. 100% of my business was short sales. Do you remember that short sell
Oh
time?
yeah.
I was one of the short sell experts. I had pretty much 58 listings under my license. And it was tough because I couldn't get those short sales approved. And most of my clients, even with approvals, they were like sad because they wanted to keep the house. They didn't want to sell the house. They invest 30, 40, $50,000 to buy the property, and they didn't want to get rid of the house. So I started doing loan modifications, and that was really the game change for me. From 2008 to 2016, I've done thousands of loan modifications, hundreds of short sales, and that kept me in the business. Kept me in the business because each family that I was able to help them save their property. They would recommend me to their friends, their family members, to get to buy a house with me.
Yep. Yeah. Love it, man. I love what you said there about you had to reinvent yourself, right? It's, we always hear, especially with the media, oh, the market's a good market, bad market. But at the end of the day, it's always good for somebody, right? And if we
Oh,
can
yeah.
identify who it's good for and then solve a problem that they're having, just like you were able to prove at that time, you can have tremendous success with it.
Yeah, back then we had REOs, short sales, loan modifications, and a lot of the agents they just end up doing something else. And I had the opportunity of doing, go back to school or get another job. But I love real estate, and I'm here for the long run. And I work 24/7 because I love what I do. I don't see, I don't put myself like I'm going to work, but I don't like to work. I don't like what I do. No, I love real estate. I love to help people, uh, realize their dreams and invest their money the right way. And that's the reason we're here.
Yeah, that's when life's good, man. When you truly found your passion. When it's more painful to take a vacation than it is to go in the office. Right?
Right.
Yeah, love it, man. So then, I'm really curious just because I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, right? So we were
Uh-huh.
one of the meccas with it was like over 90% of all the inventory was either an REO or short sale during the market crash, and had to pivot as well, and I had so many amazing learning lessons that during that time, like forcing systems to a whole new level inside my business, and things that if that crash hadn't taken place, I don't know if I would have ever learned that same level. What were some of the I guess things that you learned during that market crash that you had to adapt to and reinvent yourself with that then when it corrected into the market that we're in now and continues to be a traditional market that's just really
Uh,
propelled your business?
yeah, I think it was in a logistic. If you do if you process the short sale, it's a totally different than a regular conventional sell or buy transaction. I mean, I had three secretaries helping me process all the paperwork, bank statements, financial statements, and I had to do. I've done everything in house. I had an attorney, but all the paperwork, all the approval uh, from the process, the short sale process, I've done myself, and I was able to get them approved, get the loan modifications approved, and I've learned how to work with paper, work with approvals, and it was a big plus for me because right now I have a totally different logistic in my office, and that's why we able to close a lot of deals.
Yep. Love it, man. So I'm curious then, kind of on the flip side of that, because it was like we saw a lot of top producing agents that couldn't transition and reinvent themselves to create success during the crash. But then I also saw and witnessed a lot of top short sell and REO agents that the reverse happened. When the market corrected, they didn't know how to go back. They got so branded, niched, I guess, and so comfortable in that space, they didn't know how to then readapt and I guess read the shifts and transition back into a traditional marketplace. I mean, did you have, was that a challenge for you when the market corrected, when that business went away, or was that a pretty smooth transition for you?
It was smooth. 2014, I was in a meeting with some of my personal assistants back then, and I saw the number of loan modifications going down. I saw the number of short sales going down, and I start investing my time in getting new buyers. You know, and that's what I did. I start putting my time in hiring new agents. You know, so when I saw the numbers coming down, you know, I was like, I need to invest my money on getting buyers in, because the inventory in 2014, they start moving fast. House didn't stay in the market for too long. So I said, there's a shift here. I need to start, moving to a different direction.
Yeah. I love it, man. And, these markets, they don't shift on a dime like a lot of people think. It's only those that really aren't paying attention to the data like you did, that it feels like maybe it shifts overnight, right?
Right.
There's a lot of fear in our industry of, we're on the second longest bull run in recorded history. And, it's like, how long can money be essentially free, and how long can these record high prices keep going up? Like what are some of the numbers that you pay attention to kind of read the market to know, okay, hey, now it's time to maybe start transitioning, getting prepped for short sales again? Or, what kind of advice would you have for our listeners on reading markets, if you will?
Well, I see how many days the property is on the market. I mean, I keep, looking the database, MLS, to see how many property were sold in 2018 to 2019. I keep looking the market. I keep seeing, that the properties are not moving as fast as it was. And also, right now the interest rate it's very low, but any shift on the interest rate, it could take a lot of buyers out of the market, as you know. And I keep looking on those details to make sure that, the inventory is moving. People are getting pre-qualified, to see if the economy is good. And all those, all those things that make a huge difference for me.
Yeah. Love it, man. Love it. So then if we fast forward to, let's just say what you're doing today and what you've done over the last, several years, I guess, when it comes from the marketing element, because things are changing fast and,
right.
And it's, I don't know, in my opinion, the greatest
time
ever to be a real estate agent. Or, I used to do a lot of radio and TV, and I got to the point where my budget was like $60,000 a month in radio and TV. Well, now with YouTube and social media, I can get a better reach with that for a 20th of the cost, right? And better results. And so like, what are you doing today? And just with you being such a marketing expert, and I know that that's your real passion, just really curious of like, what is working really well today, and what are your focuses when it comes to marketing today?
Well, we produce very nice videos for the social media. Every listing that I get, I spend about $1,000 worth of pictures, videos, and boost on the social media. And people love to see, the tour from a new property, a tour from a nice property. And they get in touch with they get in touch with you. You get a bunch of buyers out of that. And most of my clients comes from the Brazilian community. We have between Metro West area and Boston area, almost 400,000 Brazilians. So I use the Facebook to target the Spanish community and the Brazilian community, and let them watch my video. Let them watch how professional the video is done, and people know, that you have a good quality and you have a good service when you present them a nice video, a nice message, and they call, they send a message, and we have a very fast response, immediately response. If you send me a message in my Facebook page, I'm going to respond like this. And we got a very nice turnover. And that's about it.
Yeah. Love it, man. So when it comes to, I guess your niche, right? Of getting very clear on your ideal client and who your message is for, because Facebook is an example. They've had a lot of big changes over the last couple of years. And one of them is, we can't target segment the protected classes, right? So like I'm here in Phoenix, and you know, a lot of Spanish, you know, a lot of, like, I can't just target Spanish speaking people only in the ad, right? Or whatever it may be. What are ways that you kind of get around that, where you can get that message and make sure that the right eyeballs are seeing those right videos?
I have almost 6,000 followers in my Facebook page. I target my followers and their friends, and I'm able to get a really good results out of that. And the followers that I have today, they like to see my videos. You know, they like to see the properties, they like to see the listings that we have, the message. You know, I have education videos that I speak about investments in real estate, all sorts of investments. I teach them how to, the first time home buyer, what are the steps to buy a house. In my office, we have a credit repair department for free for first time home buyers. I have a space for mortgage originator that they can come every week and you know, pre-approve our clients. So that makes a huge difference from my client, because if they come here, they want to buy a house, they don't have a credit, we're going to help them with the credit. We're going to help them with the finance. We're going to help them with everything until the end of the transaction. And that's huge, because if you walk into a real estate office and you don't have, you have just access to MLS, you can't close, you can't move fast. And that's what that's what I've done.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. It's just eliminating, I guess, the bottlenecks and making it super simple.
Make it simple.
Great service, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I love it, man. So then, you know, I'm curious with getting the likes on your page, right? You know, because once you have that following, like, you're able to, like you just mentioned, target them plus their friends, and it snowballs from there, right? But when it comes to getting those likes, is there anything that you've done that you could give advice for this? Somebody that's trying to maybe increase those likes on their page, of how to drive those and get those.
You need to have a good quality video. If you have a great quality video, they're gonna share your video. They're gonna show their friends your video. And I spend a lot of money in equipments and cameras, drones, to make sure that we do a really good quality. And they share. I give them gift cards if they share my videos. I give $1,000 if they share my videos. And that's what I do. I do a promotion. Whoever share my video, at the end of the promotion, I'll they can win $1,000, and that really helps.
So with that promotion, man, which I love that, dude. It's so will it literally just be like whoever shares this the most times, or I mean, what would lead to, it's something I get asked a lot about, but I've also racked my brain with, other businesses, it might be like, okay, you can have our free product. Like if I'm selling t-shirts, maybe it's free t-shirt giveaways. But for real estate agents, it can be, I don't know if it's more difficult if we just make it more difficult on ourselves.
We do coffee mugs. I'll give them a coffee mug from Dell Realty, pens. I mean, it's so many things that you can do to get people to share your videos and share the videos with their friends. It brings a lot of traffic. It brings a lot of, clients in.
Yep. Love it, man. So then when it comes to the videos, in the listing videos and all of that, I can kind of visualize what you're doing there with those. But when it comes to like the teaching style videos, is it just one of those things where it is just give, or do you have like specific call to actions, right? Where you're also letting them know and kind of dropping those seeds that, hey, like I'm here to help you.
Yeah, we try to educate the client, teaching step by step how they can buy a house step by step. And obviously you need a call to action to make them get out of the comfort zone and get their phone and give you a call or send you a message. But I think, if you give them information, if you let them know that you have the knowledge, to guide them through the process, they're going to contact you.
Yep. Yep. Love it, man. So then, when it comes to, outside of paid advertising and marketing that you're doing, right? I mean, is there any like organic stuff that you're doing? Or are you just really focused on the paid stuff, or are you also, capitalizing on the organic as well?
To be honest, I rather pay. To get more results. Um, I get a lot of referrals from my best clients, and that's most of my business comes from the referral. But in terms of social media, I rather pay, I rather boost, I rather direct where I want to target the locations, and it brings a lot of clients.
Yeah, love it, man. Love it, dude. So then, when it comes to, because you talk about having, I guess, all the services there where it's kind of like a one-stop shop, and,
Yes.
I was thinking about this like a year ago. I bought a new vehicle, and I was like, man, I talked to somebody like on the computer in a live chat, right? Set a time to go look at the vehicle, but in my mind, I already knew what I wanted, right? But within, I don't know, I mean, it was like an hour. Like I picked the vehicle out, right? Had all the paperwork, everything done, like one-stop shop. I was like, man, why can't real estate be more like this? Right? It's like usually it takes me 3 or 4 days just to get a lender to call them back, right? When it comes though to streamlining that process and I guess making it a great experience and removing the pain points, because every niche might be a little bit different. Like what are things that you look for, I guess, to be able to solve those problems?
If if I partner, if I have a partnership with a mortgage broker, I want to make sure that he is going to be on top of his game. He's going to call my client, or he's going to be in my office and respond to my client within 24 hours. If he can get them qualified, I need to know the reason. He needs to tell me the reason why he couldn't qualify the client. If it's a credit problem, I have the credit department. If he can't qualify for any other reason, I want to know, because I want to make sure I'll be able to help the client somehow to get pre-qualified. If he can't qualify because of income, he was thinking of buy a single family. Why not buy a 3-4 family that we can consider a monthly, the rental income as a purchase power. If you can qualify for a 3 family, buy a condo. I try to work somehow a way so I can get my client to invest in real estate.
Yeah. That's powerful stuff, man. Not taking the no for an answer, right? Meaning that you're going deep on it to help them solve or accomplish their goals, right?
Right.
So love it, man. So question on credit repair, because this is something I get a lot of questions on, of how to follow up with it, where to go for credit repair. Now, is this something that you started in-house on your own, or is this you're just teaming up with a vendor that you're doing there? And then as well as like, how do you get people to have success with the credit repair, like staying in touch with them? And because sometimes that can be kind of a long nurturing process.
It's a babysitting process. You need to be, calling the clients, sending letters to the credit bureaus, and it could be tough, but we got a good results. I got a very professional secretary who handles those credit repair. and we get a very quick response, to be honest. Uh, and we don't charge for that, you know. We help the client to sometimes they have a $5,000 card limit in their credit card, and they owe 4,500. So they're very close to the limit of the card. So every time you get too close to the limit, your points go down. So we educate them. No, you know, you need to make a payment on that card. You need to lower your debt in order to your points to go up. Sometimes they have collections. We help them negotiate the collection and get their credit up. You know, sometimes they have something that it's not supposed to be in their credit, and we remove them. So we help them. People, they don't have time to do that. People, unfortunately, they don't have the knowledge to do that. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help them make it simple. You know, I keep telling my agent, you like a magic. You know, you don't tell them what is behind the magic. Just do the magic.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be happy.
Yeah. It's such a huge value add, you know, right? Because I mean, most credit repair agencies, I mean, whether they're charging $500 or $1,000 or whatever it may be for that, the fact that you're again offering it for free and solving that problem and making it so simplistic is awesome, man. And I'm really curious with, you know, becoming really you're an expert, obviously, when it comes to real estate, the product itself, right? But then you've really become an expert inside who your ideal client is and solving their problems and making it a great experience and a simplistic experience for them. You know, we see all these discounters out there now in this industry. Not that they always haven't been there, but we see them more so. You know, and I've got to imagine with you being this niche down and all the stuff that you have, that you really don't have any competition in your space. You know, right? You probably have more of a demand than maybe you can handle, right?
Right. That's true. It's a lot of demand. And I'm glad, you know, that we have so many people who need the attention, the guide, and that's what make our office different than you know, a regular real estate office out there. I try to understand my client and the problem that will arrive with the client, and I try to resolve that. I try to make it very simple, you know, so they can buy a house with no pain. Because I've heard a lot. It's very hard to buy a house. It's crazy to get a mortgage. It's a lot of paperwork. I keep telling my agents, go get the document, help the mortgage originator to, you know, with the document, so you can get the pre-approval as fast as you can, so you can close the deal.
Yep. Working together, making it happen, dude. Love it. So you said something when we first started the podcast that you know, really just kind of perked my interest, if you will. And you know, you talked about your experience in the mortgage business helping you so much with the real estate business, because you got to sell the pre-qual first. And it's like, we as the real estate agent aren't really their best friend until they have the pre-qual in hand, because now they know it's their dreams can be a reality, you know, right?
Right.
But that is a challenge for a lot of agents, get them pre-qual before they start working with them and so forth. You know, what are some tips and things that you guys are doing to sell that pre-qual, right? Instead of them feeling like they're just being sold or baited or whatever.
Well, you need to know the products, the loans that are available to your clients. You need to know them. If your client is first-time home buyer and they don't have a lot of money to put down, what are the programs available out there? You need to know all of them. 3.5% down, 5% down, 10, 15, 20, whatever is out there. Hard money. You need to know all of the products. What are the documents you need to get pre-qualified? You know, and when you sit down with your client, you tell them what are the options out there. I'm a real estate broker, and I also have a mortgage license. I don't originate loans, but I got my license because number one, I wanted the knowledge. Number two, I'm I'm capable of speaking about the the programs with the clients. And I mean, you need to know all of the programs. You need to have knowledge to explain to your client. Your client needs to know that you know what you're doing. If he feels like you don't know what you're doing, he's gonna knock in someone else's door. He's gonna find someone else to help him, you know, through the process.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's so amazing, dude. I mean, you see so many real estate agents that, and I'm guilty of this as well. You know, I've thought about this a lot, especially the last couple of years of really trying to step up our game as far as the team and the value that we bring to our agents with, you know, training when it comes to allowing them to have these tools. You know, because I mean, it's like we spend so much time learning how to lead generate, and not that that stuff isn't important, but we don't spend
Right.
a lot of time really mastering, you know, our product, if you will, you know, right? Like taking it to the level that you have. And what are things that, because you have the experience in the mortgage industry, but also in the real estate space and licensed in both. But I have to imagine with all of your agents that they don't all have that same background, you know, right?
No.
Like, what are you doing? And so just for team leaders watching this or brokerage owners, because I think that that makes a lot of sense to all of us. What do you do internally to educate your agents so they can have the same expertise that you do with this?
Well, we get together once a month, and I train them, you know, with the credit repair part, with the mortgage. I get I invite mortgage brokers to speak for them, to teach them how to, you know, all the programs available out there. They know about credit because we have credit inside, credit repair inside. Uh, I bring attorneys to talk about the legal side of the transaction. I mean, I try to give my agents all of my knowledge to make sure that he's not going to lose any clients out there. You know, I teach them about marketing. I teach them about credit repair, mortgage, and everything.
Yep. Love it. Powerful stuff, man. So then, you know, with being such a, I guess having such a passion for marketing like you do, I'm curious with, you know, all the changes that are happening when it comes to technology in our space. You know, it's like the second you think you get something down on Facebook, they change it, or you know, another platform. Like, what does that look like for you today, as far as to be able to stay on top of it, you know, with your self development and, you know, to adapt to these rapid changes that are taking place.
You need to educate yourself. You need to read. You need to be on top of your game, and that's what I do. You know, I read a lot every day. I read a lot every day in regards to marketing, and 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 you know, I take 1 hour per day, 1 hour of my day to read and to get knowledge, and it's really important because you learn every day something different. Especially Facebook, Instagram, they change a lot, and you need to be on top of your game.
Yeah. Where's some of your favorite like resources to go get that knowledge from?
Well, I go I go a lot on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on the Facebook. There's a Facebook University now.
Yep.
So I read a lot, um, and there are a bunch of books out there.
Yep.
And I just read one, 2000, yeah, it was a 2019 marketing for Facebook. It was a great book.
Yep. Love it, man. Love it. So then, you know, I'm curious with you know the brokerage growth that you guys continue to have. You know, where do you see yourself taking this, man? Do you have a vision to continue the growth and maybe even expand out of your market or staying in your market?
Um, it's something that I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking of growing to the American community that I'm not touching. I mean, I do a lot of business with the Spanish community, the Brazilian community, but I miss the the big the big chunk of the cake. I'm out. I start hiring more American agents to work with me, um, and they really like the fact that I work in the different communities, and they could have access to those communities as well. Uh, I'm changing all of my website because my website now is in Portuguese and in Spanish. I'm doing that in English, only in English. Um, and that's what we're doing now. We're trying to help, other communities to buy a property.
Yep, love it. So when you're expanding, your demographics like this, or your niche, or whatever you want to call it, with it, when you say you're getting a new website built that's only in English, are you going to continue to push the stuff that you have, or is this a full revamp, or will you just have a separate website for those communities so you don't
No,
lose the
it's
momentum that you have with what you got going on now?
no, it's a totally different thing
Yep.
because it's a different culture. You have to touch them in a different way. I mean, for the Brazilian community, we have different holidays. We have different culture, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a new website for the American community, but I'm not gonna lose
Right. Yeah.
on the other side. I'm not gonna lose, my clients from the Brazilian community and Spanish community. No, it's separate.
Yeah. Love it,
Totally
man.
separate.
So, you said something earlier about somebody with your Facebook ads and everything that you're doing there. If somebody messages you, how you're on it instantly.
Right.
I'm just curious with, as busy as you are doing the business and coaching your agents and all the stuff that you're doing, I got to imagine that you can't always be reactive, right? To jump on, like, how do you, I guess what I'm asking is, do you have kind of a schedule that you follow that allows you to get back timely, but that also allows you to get all the other stuff done that you need to get done?
Well, in my office, I don't go out there showing properties anymore, Josh. I I'm the rainmaker of my company. So from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., I stay in the office prospecting, doing my marketing, and I get the client in. We pre-qualify them, and I give it to my agents. So I don't go out there anymore showing properties. I don't go out there getting listings. So I get the client in, and I give it to my agents. And from there on, their responsibility to call the client to make the sell happen.
Yeah, love it. So then when you bring them into the office, are you doing the initial consult with them and then your agents take over, or are you essentially setting the appointment and your agents will meet with them when they come in the office?
The agents meet with them at the office. Sometimes, clients want to meet with you, and I'm happy to meet with everyone. I don't mind, but I'd rather have my agent to to sit down with them and explain the process.
Yeah, love it, man. So, 16 years under your belt now in this industry. I'm curious. Dell today could go back and have a conversation with Dell in, let's just say, 2003 or 2005, whichever one you want to pick there, and have a conversation with your younger self, if you will, and give yourself two pieces of advice. Knowing everything you know now today, they feel to just fast forward your trajectory to this success journey that you're on. What would those two pieces of advice look like?
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough question. It's hard to say. I mean, uh, I've done, it's hard, man. It's hard to say because I've done everything I could to be where I am today. And I wouldn't change anything, you know. I worked really hard to be where I am today. And it's hard. It's hard. The advice, I don't know. To be honest,
Yep. No,
I don't know.
yeah. No, I mean, I guess that's the way you want to be. You know, I mean, a lot of people talk about regrets, but I heard a saying one time that, you know, I believe to be true, which is growth only comes from struggle. So even though, you know, things aren't always sunshine and rainbows, you know, right? We can experience hard times like you did during the market crash, right? But those are such great growth times that we can embrace them and embrace and, you know, and learn to love
Right.
them. You know, pain and power come from the same place.
No, I've worked really hard during those years, and I don't have any regret because even in 2008, I'm I'm really happy that I was in 2008 to learn the things that I've learned, you know, and so young. Um, no regrets.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yep. Awesome, man. So then
You know,
you talked about, you know, working 24/7. You know, and, you know, some people, they just have such a passion or obsession, you know, for what they do that they just never experience burnout. But I am curious if, you know, there's ever anything that you do, like times where you do need to turn the off, you know, turn the off button or the on button off, you know, right? Just to be able to recharge those batteries and, you know, to, I guess, avoid that burnout. I mean, is there anything that you do there, or is that just kind of been a non-issue for you?
no, I play soccer. You know, that's the time that I take everything away from me. I play soccer, I work out, and that's stress relief. But like I mentioned, I love to create commercials, videos, and and I love what I do. I don't put myself in a position to burn out. You know, uh, it's like coming to the office, it's like going to a vacation,
Yeah.
and I don't feel that pressure. I don't feel that way. So I love to work and that um, and it makes me happy. You know, it makes me happy.
Yep. Awesome stuff, man. So Dell, for those that are watching and listening, man, if they want to, you know, just check out your stuff that you're doing. See, maybe look at some of the videos that you put out there. Maybe they have a referral for your market, or maybe they're an agent that's in your market that's looking to potentially join your brokerage and want to get in touch with you to have that conversation. Like, where's the best place for people to learn more about you and to kind of follow you and watch all the great things that you're up to?
So you can go to the Google and type Dell Realty. You're gonna get to our website. You can locate me in Facebook, Dell Realty, Dell Realty, and my Instagram page, same thing, Dell Realty.
Yeah,
I'm
awesome.
sure you're gonna find me.
Yeah, hard not to, right? Love it. And those watching, listen, will make it super easy on you guys. We'll have links right below where you can click and make sure to connect with Dell. And Dell, dude, I know how busy you are, and I truly appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to be here, man. It's been an honor, and this has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
100%, my friend. And those
And
watch.
when you are around Boston, come visit me.
Oh, I'm gonna 100%, man. I got to check out your operation, dude. It's pretty mind blowing, man. And keep crushing it, my friend. And those watching and listening, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for watching. And make sure, I know I end every podcast with this, but information without implementation truly is just the start of delusion. Information isn't power. It's taking that information and taking action on it that gives you the power to create the life that you know you want and deserve. And Dell shared so many amazing pieces of advice with you guys today. Take something that you learned, take immediate action on it. So again, you can go out there and create that life that you know you deserve. Again, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.
See ya.